Hey guys, it's me again, and I went to go to a screening of the movie Minions, and I'm here now to do a review on it. I'm sorry if I'm stuttering. I'm kind of tired, but that will not keep me from doing this review. So, I I was actually looking forward to the Minions movie. Well, first off, let me give my opinion before about the first two movies. The first one, actually both of them, because I think they fall under the same range. I like them, but they're not anything spectacular to me. I see them as average animated family family comedies, and they're just that. I mean, they're nothing. It's nothing spectacular. It doesn't change anything in terms of storytelling or animation or something like that. It's just your average. It's just your average full-on animated comedy, and if it for that it succeeds fine. It's just probably not the best one I've ever seen. But now we got this Minions movie, and I personally like the Minion characters. I mean, they're not spectacular, but they're not bad. I mean, they do sort of convey to the story the just fit in with the sidekicks in the Despicable Me franchise. And now we got this new spin-off prequel, and this one follows mainly three minions, Kevin, Stuart, and Bob, in search of a new boss. Now, and what they find is a woman named Scarlet Overkill, and she wants to take over England, and it's up to the minions to do just that. So, when this movie started, them showing the evolution of minions and them going from boss to boss to 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 boss. I mean, it actually was starting to feel like that it's the minions now. It's the way that they go from these types of people, and it was actually feeling quite nice. Actually, I liked the slow pace. I like the slow pace of them trying to find a boss. Or it's not much slow pace. It's just them failing and failing just to please these people and end up like killing their boss at the end. And basically that gets them into all hiding or isolation in the Arctic, I should say. But I think once that the plot actually gets going and they find the Scarlet, I don't know. I think the movie now, well, from there on, I think it relies so much on its plot and its jokes, cause really that's pretty much it. I mean, as for like anything else with the characters, it's I mean it's not that it's bad. It's just very, very undeveloped. I mean, if you're gonna sit there and like tell me that the minions are going to be talking gibberish, Spanish, French, a combination of these languages, you got to make it like with character. And they're just relying on just the minions because they know that they have the audience with just this being a Minions movie. But the thing about this Minions movie is I don't think there's really any character with the minions. And same thing probably goes for the human characters. I don't think that the human characters were given enough screen time and were really undeveloped as characters go, to make you feel for them, or to be scared by them. I mean, I didn't think that they were really developed that well. And I guess that the animation in here, I mean, it's great. It's great animation, but I've seen, like, everybody's keeping on doing the same animation. It's starting to blend in. Even with something like, Pixar or DreamWorks, when they do that realistic animation, and even this one, I mean, they are all Blue Sky. I mean, they're all starting to kind of look the same to me, unless they do something really really creative with it. But otherwise, in that, they just look the same to me. And I don't know. I can't really comment it on the animation much, because it looks the same. Though I will admit, when that ending happens and they had to refer to, like, giant movements and stuff like that, I thought that actually worked really well, actually. But this movie relies so much heavily on jokes and the plot, which I'm not against, because in your comedy you need to tell as much jokes as possible. If you do have like a very cliche plot, if you have a very cliche plot, I won't mind it, as long as you give me jokes, and as long as you give me characters to care about. However, there is really undeveloped character in here, and the jokes themselves are not that great. I mean, I was fully intended to laugh, and the audience I was with was fully intended to laugh, because this is from the people who brought us Despicable Me. And there, even though that there are some good, genuine laughs in here, I realized that, wow, I'm not really laughing as much as I was during those two other movies, and the audience I'm with is also with me on the same page. I mean, there were kids in there. There was like a bunch of kids in there, and they were probably as laughing at the stuff as much as me. I mean, there were some good chuckles and everything like that. There were some great chuckles, but it wasn't a full-on laugh riot, and people were waiting for that. People were waiting. I could feel people kind of getting anxious and saying, "Oh boy, let's just get on with the jokes, because I'm really here for that." And I was there for that too. I mean, but the thing is, I don't think there's so much jokes, or too many good jokes for really to carry this movie. And probably the main problem with this movie in general is that the Minions aren't supposed to be the real focus. They are perfect as side characters. When you make them the focus, when you don't get a person like Gru to be in there for us to care about, then pretty much it's just the Minions movie. You just get a Minions movie. And for people who actually like the Minions, I mean, I can see people really wanting to love this, because it's about, the side characters. But sometimes side characters are just meant to be side characters. I don't think they're supposed to be the main focus. And it was very clear that the studio just did this for the money, like any studio does. Unfortunately, there are some studios who hide it more than others, and this one I didn't think tried to hide it at all. I think they just really wanted this money. They want that $1 billion that Despicable Me 2 didn't make. So yeah, it's really, really sad, because I was looking forward to this. I was looking forward to, wow, this is going to be a great animated comedy. And for it to be a full-on animated comedy, you need a lot of jokes in there with very little drama. And yeah, those don't really that pop up that much often. And if you say, "Oh, DreamWorks does it all the time," it's like, those don't count. those DreamWorks style movies. No, those don't count. It needs to be a full on animated comedy, like really a full on, like full forced animated comedy that you do get in live action movies. And as for this full on animated comedy, I don't think it's bad. It's not the worst, but it's definitely not the best. And it's just one of these animated comedies where I can just look at it and say, well, that was kind of good, but I could be watching other animated comedies that, that have more jokes, and it tells a much greater speed, has environment, which you don't get that in animated comedies. You just don't. You don't get a sense of environment because they're so busy telling their jokes and, focusing on, the plot and less of the characters, that you don't really get a sense of environment or anything like that. So, yeah, as for this movie, I'm gonna give it about about a 6 out of 10. I don't think it's bad, but it could have been a lot better. It could have been a lot better, especially when they went to England. I mean, there are some jokes told in England, that I laughed at, but not as many as I thought there would be. So, yeah, I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10. And actually, just something on the side here, I went to go see Inside Out a second time, and I actually liked it more the second time I watched it than the first time. So I'm upping my rating of Inside Out to like about an 8.5 instead of the 7 that I gave it in my actual review. So, yeah, but I don't think that this Minions movie is going to really change my opinion. I mean, it's just your average animated comedy. There's nothing really all that special about it. And if you like the Minions, fine, then go see it. But I don't think the Minions are really ready to take on a full animated movie. I don't think they're going to be the star. I think they need someone to balance them out like Gru in the Despicable Me movies, because really the comedy here is about 50-50, honestly. Sometimes you're going to laugh, sometimes you were not. And even the kids at my screening weren't even laughing a lot than I would have expected. So, yeah, that's my review of the Minions movie. I hope you liked it, and it's always been a pleasure of me talking to you guys about what I think about these movies, and it's always fun to do these type of reviews so I can get somewhat of an opinion out there. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say, and as always, JC Animation Critic out, and I will see you guys later in the next review. Take care.